With the success that Telltale's episodic release model has seen lately, it's not surprising that other developers are giving it a shot. Publisher Square Enix, who have been giving a lot of love to the PC community with mostly great ports over the past few years, and developer Dontnod, whose only previous game was the fairly well-received Remember Me, bring us Life is Strange. Self-described by the developers as Gone Home meets The Walking Dead, Life is Strange was given a lot to live up to. Is it a worthy entry to a genre increasing in popularity, or does it fall flat of the expectations it was given? Life is Strange puts you in the shoes of an everyday high school girl, Max. She is dealing with all the common problems that high school kids face today, such as low self-esteem, feeling like she doesn't fit in, and coming to grips with the fact that she's able to time travel. What starts out as an ordinary day for Max becomes a life-changing moment for her as she completely reverses time after witnessing a murder. Every stereotypical high school character is present. You have loners, nerds, jocks, mean girls, an emo girl, an asshole security guard, a principal who can't decide if he's a dick or not, and, to top it all off, a creepy janitor. However, the most interesting character in the story is not actually a character you meet in the game. Rachel Amber, a girl who has been missing for months before the events of the game, seems to start off as just a small part of the game's setting, but you soon start seeing that she is interwoven into almost every aspect of the story, leaving you to wonder what happened to her. The episode simply lays the groundwork for a great mystery yet to come, and ends with a look at a major obstacle Max will face in the coming episodes. On the surface, the game may just look like it's a copy of every Telltale game that's come out in the past few years, but a couple of things really differentiate it from them. The most obvious is Max's ability to manipulate time. Time manipulation has quite a few uses. The first of these is to rewind conversations once you have information you didn't have before it started, such as an answer to a question your professor asks you. Another use is to prevent something from happening, such as the murder that triggered her ability. The third, and likely most game-changing use for this power, is to see how making different decisions pan out. In Telltale's games, if a decision is made and you wish to change it, you have to quit out of the game and restart from the nearest checkpoint. In Life is Strange, all it takes is holding down the right mouse and you can start the conversation over from scratch. While you still don't know how each decision will affect the future, being able to see each outcome and decide which one you want to go with really freshens up the experience. Exploration is what you'll mostly be doing throughout this episode. While I recently complained about the exploration in Telltale's Game of Thrones first episode, I found myself really enjoying it in Life is Strange. Whereas Telltale's exploration has been dumbed down a bit more with each successive release, the exploration here feels like it did in the original season of Telltale's The Walking Dead. There are hidden pictures that you can take, as well as some simple yet fun puzzles that you must solve using Max's time manipulation. Life is Strange found a way to pump life back into what was becoming the most tedious aspect of the genre. Max's journal serves the purpose of showing her thoughts on starting at Blackwell Academy and the events that she experiences throughout the game. It also holds the hidden pictures that you take, biographies of the characters that you meet, and the texts that you send and receive to her friends and family. It serves its purpose of keeping you in touch with all the different aspects of the story very well. The graphics are heavily stylized, and personally, I think they look great. It really fits the tone of the game. Don't expect the textures to be ultra sharp and detailed, but do expect vivid, beautiful colors throughout the game. Aesthetically, the game does a good job of packing a couple different locales into its 2-hour length. The majority of the game will be played on the Academy's campus, but they do a good job of having you both inside and outside so that you don't constantly feel like you're looking at the same textures the entire episode long. There is also a lighthouse with an overlook that is both menacing in a couple scenes and beautiful in another. The audio has a few problems, but overall it seemed to fit in fine with the game. The soundtrack that includes some lighter acoustic music and a modern folk band fits the style and tone. The sound effects are also very well done, especially the opening scene where a storm is raging around you. Some of the characters' lines fall incredibly flat, though a lot of this can be attributed to the fact that it seems the writers are mostly just trying to guess at what teenagers actually talk like.
Wrong. You got hella cash.
The most annoying aspect of the audio happens to be how terribly off the lip syncing is. It was so bad that I initially thought I had encountered a bug. Ultimately, it doesn't do much to hurt the game's quality unless a few cringeworthy lines are enough to ruin an entire story for you. Here's a quick look at the minimum and recommended specs for running this game. Both are incredibly low by today's standards, so most should have no problems running it. Both of the recommended GPUs were released in 2008, so if you have even a semi-modern card in your rig, you should be fine. Do note that this game does not support Intel's integrated graphics, so if you are using them, make sure you find out if your system will run the game before you purchase it. Here is a look at my setup. As you can see, it is well above the given specs, so in theory, there should have been no issues running this game. I'm happy to report that there were no issues with performance that I encountered in my playthrough. With all of the options turned to max, aside from FXAA and using 4x MSAA, I had a smooth 60 frames per second at 1080p from start to finish. Dontnod gave us quite a few options to choose from, though a few of them are blanketed into generic terms such as effects quality. Life is Strange really is a special game. Dontnod took the most interesting aspect from their previous game and put it into an entirely different genre, and the combination couldn't be better. With a story that is already gripping from the first episode, and a new gameplay mechanic that makes this game stand out amongst all the other similar games, Life is Strange seems to be a breath of fresh air the genre needed. If you love story-driven adventure games like Telltale's recent series, this game is an absolute must-buy for you. If you have grown tired of adventure games focused almost entirely on the story, this may be the game that reignites your interest. While this game may not be for those of you who didn't ever like the genre, I still believe it's worth looking into simply because of how different the time manipulation makes the game feel. I give Life is Strange Episode 1 a 4.5 out of 5. I promise I hate this next part as much as you, but all of this is vital to the survival of all YouTube channels. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more reviews, news, and PC gaming in general. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the future.